Welcome back, guys, to Trails in the Sky the Third, where last episode within the luminous labyrinth we located Palamada and another sealing stone, this time revealing Ren in a tense confrontation, and with our party ever growing, we earned entry to another sun door along the way, as we now find ourselves gambling in Calvert, having beaten Hallie, and now moving on to Victory Jack. Oh, so I get to choose to raise now if I want to. I have crap cards. Great. Did I get the cards I wanted? No? Oh, did I not realize that I nearly got... Oh, maybe I could have held a diamond and been able to get at least a... Well... King High! I've got a King High! This was a terrible game. Yes. Damn it. I mean, I've got 2 pair currently. But will that be enough? He might get it straight. I'm not going to raise on this. Straight is better than 2 pair. Damn it! All those 7s! I'm glad I didn't raise on that, but I'm losing! Did I have a straight flush there, did I? Or am I an idiot? I don't even know anymore. I'm not looking good here. Oh well. Let's just give up to the inevitable. And we've lost. Great. Who'd have guessed? Against the cheating gamblers that we know cheat. Hallie wasn't blowing smoke, was she? After hearing you beat her, I figured you might give me a run for my money, but no such luck. Wasn't blowing smoke at all. I don't think he beat me by pure chance. No, I beat you by pure chance. Doesn't really matter now. My interest's gone, I'm afraid. Well, means come back again, but make sure you can do a whole lot better than that if you do. I will challenge you again, Jack. Spam A. Okay. I'm gonna have to hold hearts for the potential of a thing. At least we've got the double 6s, but that doesn't really help much. Damn it! Well, I know he's probably got better than me. 2 6s on the table is all we basically have. He's got 2 kings in his hand. Oh no. Again. I mean, I've got Queen 9, Jack 10 up. So this is a better chance than we have had. But it all depends on this card. That doesn't help. 2 queens. I won! Don't spend that long on that, stranger. I'm back in it. Remind me of how why he needs to do this? Because we're doing all the moon doors. God. We just leave things. So we've got a potential at like a low straight or a high straight, depending on how you look at it. Actually, we don't have the potential of that at all because there's only 2 multiple cards I can change here. So the only chance I actually have is to switch out the 8 and the 9 and hope for a 4 and a 5. If I'm right in saying. because of the way the makeup of the game is. I could try folding as well. Let's see, 4 and a 5. Okay, well, I've got and pair. And nearly a thingy. Oh, we drew. Not too bad, I guess. I prefer Hold'em. I've got a pair of 2s. So we can play it safe and just change out the king and hope for luck. Nope. Pair of 2s, queen high. Okay, we are a bit stalemate right now. Okay, pair 4 is already on the board. Nothing currently matches anything else. The potential of a flush isn't there. So we're going to change all. 7 and a 4. 7. 2 pair. Okay, we're up into the middle of the board. Nice. 2-1 jack. We've got an ace. 2-1 jack. We've got an ace. I mean, there's a potential if I got rid of the ace, but that's one of my pair anyway. So let's get rid of the 1 and 1. No. Let's get rid of them. Sorry. Unfortunate with the rest of the cards. We've got 1 pair at the very least. I'll choose all the high ones. Okay. We're keeping it together. We're keeping it together, guys. We're trying to beat the king of jamblers. Yeah, the Jambler King, Jack. Okay, we've got a pair of aces. No potential flush draw unless we were to get rid of everything. 3 or 5. Disappointing. Disappointing. A pair of aces with a king that's high. We are very stuck. Gambly. Okay, this time we've got crit. Can't possibly get a flush. So I'm better off just changing all and hoping for the best. Well, we've lost a star here. And I thought I was in the lead. Damn it. No, I'm back down 50-50. No. 6. Oh. 2 or 7. Damn it! What did I just do? I had a 5, you idiot! No, I didn't have pairs anyway. It's fine. I couldn't do anything no matter what, could I? I'm so confused now. Well, my points are dribbling away. No single pair here. What happens if I press fold then? Oh, it does redraw. And with a pair of 4s already on the table, we don't have anything that resembles a pair on our board otherwise, so we change all and we go with a pair of 4s. Oh, 2 pair. Will this get us back up to 3 stars? Okay, got it. Got it. Still in this. But gambling, man. Games of chance. We got a jack. I should get rid of everything. And hope for that 2 pair to drop again. Unfortunate. Looks as if I kept something, I would have got a pair separate though, sadly. 1 pair for everyone. He's probably got at least 3 of a kind. Okay, no, no, no. So many draws! It's because the variant of poker is as well, considering like most of us using the same cards. And there's no betting in between to weed out people. It just feels kind of empty. Can't fold again, can I? Wait, I can fold again? I thought I could only fold once. Oh, no. Yes. Yes. Okay. It's looking good. 2 pair. Let's bet he's got a 2 pair as well. Back up to 4 stars. This is the Gambling Chronicles of Olizandri. 847. Balls. So we got 5. If we rolled into a 6.
Big stinky cat poo greeted me when I
go
came
for the
home.
6.
Want a cup of tea?
I'd love a cup of tea.
A cat.
6!
Biggest poo you've ever seen.
That's fine.
No, it's not.
No, we rolled out pretty well. We got probably 2 pair, 2 pair, 2 pair.
I see you're in your pants.
We're nearly there. We're nearly 5 stars to 2.
I even opened
6,
the
7, 8,
door.
5. Oh, no, yeah, we can't roll into it. No. Okay. I think I have to change all. Do I just fold again? Wait, I can really fold this many times. I thought they only said I could fold once.
Did Sam tell everyone our cat got
Now I know that. I can just game this system as much as I want. So,
Poor kitty, she got attacked.
do I go for a flush? Or do I go for...
We're having to keep her in.
I keep the pair. Play it safer. Okay, not so good. Also, I would have got the blooming flush, wouldn't I? Well, in hindsight... 1 away! 1 away! Now I know I can fold every other game. This is easy.
What is this?
Right, I can either roll into a 6 or I can keep that 9.
Raise.
I'm gonna keep the 9.
Raise. You have
Oh, shit! 3 of a kind.
rubbish.
Got you now, Jack. This is where he has a royal flush. Ready?
It's gonna flush you down the toilet.
Yes! Would you look at that? Don't expect that like that out, stranger. I think I've won. Damn, you managed to get all my stars? Be proud. Not just anyone can beat me. Yeah, when I figured out that I could do it once every other game. God damn
You
it.
mean your save's coming?
Yeah. I know I lost before. Well, I'll be damned. You're pretty good after all. You beat me fair and square. I ain't gonna make excuses. Are you kidding me? He actually beat Jack. Only because he was holding back. You know that as well as I do. Same could have been true for his opponent, to be fair. Yeah, I was holding back, totally. Yeah, you're right. It was still a damn good game, though. It's something the center of attention now. I'd say we entertained the bar enough, at least. Can't say I'm thrilled with losing, but that's the first time in a while I felt the rush of a good gamble. I'll say, that was a great game to watch. I managed to play some poker myself. Anyway, if you ever feel like it, come on back. I guess I'll try and make time for you if you do. But just so we're clear, you haven't seen half what I can really do yet. You say that, Jack, but for all you know, it's going to be you getting beaten next time too. We'll see about that. Still, I feel the exact same way as he does. You're always welcome back here. I'd love to play you again personally. You better come back at least once though, got it? I need a chance to get my own victory against you, and now you've got one on me. Oh, that's all for today? That's a shame. Well, come back again sometime, alright? Yeah, I love the difficulty. I don't care. It was gambling. It's a game of chance. But the side story of the Casino Gambler Jack has now finished. We got a Mirage Ring Plus and 10,000 Nero. Job done. Mirage Ring Plus would have been great earlier. ADF plus 600, Agility plus 10, prevents Petrify. Pretty damn nice. Do I put that one instead of the other ATS improving thing I had? And you know what? Just in case someone has a Petrify thing again. Have that, Rem. Lowers your ATS a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Right, Le Gambler Jack is now defeated. After quite many tries and a long time gambling, we can now move up the 5th plane to the next door, the Umbral Midpoint. I don't think the graphics are dying, are they? I think we're still okay. Just about. Just about. Well, we've Ren now in our party. Let's see what's beyond door number next. And hope that no game dies as we go up there. Another teleporter. It's another porter. Oh, well, we still got even more rooms. Because there's more treasure chests too. The dungeon keeps on being lengthy. Alright then, Ren, you ready to go?
Hey.
Death Scream. Energy Drain. I'd be quite interested to see that. Let's see what Energy Drain looks like. Shazam! Shazam! Not very good. I mean, it wasn't the exact best target for it, but still. Shazam!
Goddess, my thanks to thee.
Alright then, Celestial Bombs picked up, but we are both empty. I'll have you know, I am full of jovialness. And money now that I've beat Gambler Jack and all. By not knowing difficulty. Because I'm completely legit gamer, you know. Alright, one spelly guy to hit.
Hey.
I think they look kind of cute. I know not everyone will agree, but still. Shazam! Everyone, try to get hits in. Ah, Chloe wins. Shazam!
Later, corpsey.
Did she say later Corpsey? I think Corpsey's her favourite plush toy. I love Corpsey. Oh, there's a door! Yet another door stands before us. Another door. To take all your time, to spend it indoors. Another door.
Hey.
Alright, let's keep on fighting. Oh, I should have given you the death blow, shouldn't I? Yes, yes, I should. Job done.
We're good to go.
One spin's all we need. Ren's not getting much experience at level 119, that's for sure. There's got to be a red treasure chest over here as well. We'll go back to that door, don't worry.
Hey.
How much physical damage do you do then, Rem? When we set you up for caster protocol. We'll never know. Oh, maybe we will. Wait a second. There's a guy hiding behind this horse.
No way.
These camouflage spiders hiding away. Aye.
I'm a Terminator.
What? She's the Terminator? I can't quite hear what she says because of her weird voice, but still. I think she's also the T-1000 now. The T-800? Maybe. Enemy terminated? No, she definitely said she's the Terminator. God, didn't you hear it right? Bring to me the playful minstrel and his closest ally against the beast they seek to overcome. Only then shall the door open. Against the beast they seek to overcome? Muller and Olivier. I think we might see out with one more door then by the look of it. Now we usually don't have to gear up before going into a door, but we will just make sure to do it with Oliver anyway. Technically we should be able to take them and they probably won't have to do a trial is what I'd imagine. This is where this door is massively long and I'm mistiming myself completely.
Your aid, please.
As long as it's not a challenge at the front of the door, we'll be fine. If there is a challenge at the front of the door, we're screwed. But to be honest, it's probably not a challenge, and probably it's when we're within there that it actually takes place and happens. So I probably don't have to gear up. Is it Moon Door? No, it's the Star Door. But we've had a trial here. But that said first to overcome a trial. So I'm wondering if this one has a trial or not. Only 2 have had a trial so far. 1 Moon Door, 1 Star Door. I imagine we can just bust straight into here and it will send us into a scenario. If it doesn't, then I'm really screwed because I've got no gear on anyone. So in that case, let's just, yeah, I think we'll be fine. If we have a trial, then I'm just going to quickly die and then re-gear. Because that would be screwed. Right, Olivert and Muller.
Might knock you in because you sound stupid.
Let's open the door and hope there's no trial whatsoever. No trial. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. This is when Oliver realized his true feelings towards Muller, and that a bodyguard should share a bed. 1 month after the collapse of the Liber Ark, the banquet to celebrate the crisis' successful resolution was over, with Estelle and her friends having largely left the capital to go elsewhere. One of them, however, Prince Olivert Fries Arnor, sat rather uncomfortably in the ambassador's office in Gransel's Erebonian embassy, his work in the country not quite settled. I can't believe that you... I mean, my deepest apologies for not noticing you, His Highness, Prince Olivert sooner. Wait, he didn't realise? How did he not realise? Oh, I'm not surprised you never realised. I may be a prince, but my mother was a commoner. What point is there in bothering to remember my face? It's not as though I often showed myself in the palace or attended high society gatherings. No, me certainly isn't going to help you moving up the ranks, my friend. There's no need to be so humble, your highness. Besides, I'm actually rather grateful to you, Ambassador. You gave me all kinds of useful advice during my stay here at the embassy that I'm sure will be to my benefit in the future. Well-meant words such as act like a man of the Empire for once in your life and stop idling here, go home and try doing some damn work. Your Highness, Your Highness, I think you've tormented him enough for one day. The Ambassador behaved in the same way any other sane man would in his position. If anything, I'd say he has every right to be angry at us for keeping the truth from him for so long. But, Muller... Oh, I suppose you're right. I'll spare him any more teasing for now. I actually wasn't joking about being grateful to you, though. You truly have done admirable work over the past month. I have. Acting as a pipeline with the Empire, checking the safety of Erebonians residing in Liberl, helping the international liner service to resume. And those are only the tip of the iceberg. You've done so much more. You have my deepest thanks as the Prince of the Empire. I'm not worthy of such praise, your Highness. You, however, deserve the utmost for braving the danger you did flying up to the Liber Ark. All of what happened seems to have caused quite the commotion in our homeland, so the people seem to be rather relieved now that they know the danger is past. It's all thanks to your courage that they are able to rest easy. Oh, there's no point in flattering me, Ambassador. I just did what I could, nothing more, nothing less. And I couldn't have done anything alone. All I was able to accomplish was thanks to the help of those around me. I'm fairly removed from the stereotype of Erebonians as stern, strong, and self-sufficient, if I do say so myself. As rude as this who may be to agree. Words are failing me. As rude as it may be to agree, perhaps you're correct. And yet I believe your willingness to be flexible most definitely helped, rather than hindered you here. I believe people like you are exactly what the Empire is going to need in the future. Regardless of how I may feel about His Excellency, the Chancellor's approach. Ambassador. Well, this is a surprise. I was under the impression that you supported the Chancellor. And again, you are a noble. Does that lead you to oppose his reformist policies, perhaps? I may be a noble on paper, but I'm only a baron. All in all, I generally fall in favour of his reformist policies. Be that as it may, while this may be just the result of being in Liberl for so long and being influenced by the ways of its people, I do sometimes find myself becoming frightened by his hardline approach. I can't help but wonder exactly what direction he's trying to take our old nation. Interesting. Your Highness, I was just thinking that I'm quite glad to have taken the chance to engage in such fruitful talk with you just before departing the country. I pray you will continue doing all you can to ensure the peace of Liberl and the surrounding nations while I'm gone, preferably in cooperation with Ambassador Cochrane. Yes. Let's not forget her, I suppose. Still, it's true that since the non-aggression pact was signed, there has been some problem with regards to the crossbell problem. Or progress in regards to the crossbell problem. And given that it was Liberl who proposed that pact, that makes my role in future negotiations very important indeed. I presume that is what you were trying to say? You're sharp one, my good man. Excellent. Now I can return to the capital with my mind at ease. Leave everything here to me, Your Highness. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you achieve back in our homeland. I knew they were sharing a bed. This truly is a country like no other. I never thought the day would come when I would hear things like that from a noble of the Empire. Indeed, he's apparently somewhat less of an obstinate man than I thought he was. Perhaps this nation's very air has the power to genuinely change people. It seems to have had an effect on you too. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more smiles from you these days than I used to. I'll have to admit it, but that may well be true. I don't find myself wishing you would learn from Liberlian's dignity and sense of restraint, however. Two qualities you don't particularly possess in any measure. In fact, you have far too much of their opposites. You say that, but these qualities are the only weapon that I have. I don't have much that will allow me to compete against the Chancellor. I need to use what little happens to be tucked in my corner as best as I can. Have there been any changes to our plans? None. We should be able to proceed as arranged. 3 days ago, the Chancellor left the capital on a tour of Eastern Erebonia. Tomorrow you'll be returning there aboard the Arcel while he's still out in the east. All those who need to be made aware of our return have been given proper notice. Your arrival in Erebonia will make a real impact. Of that I'm certain. What potential obstructions to the plan are there present? Nothing major. There have been some movements in the Intelligence Division's 4th subdivision, but not much. There's a chance that everyone is being cautious because the Arcel is involved. But I put greater odds on the idea that everyone is just treating this as a pompous performance by you and not taking it seriously. Well, they'd be right too. It is. I have no choice but to start here, even if this means I have to use Liberl. And if I'm going to put on a show, why not put it on the finest one the sky's ever seen? I suppose I can't argue that. I'm sorry to trouble you at this late hour, Your Highness. A message has arrived for you from Heimdall. What would you have me do? Really? Alright, come in. Pardon me. Hello. Well, if it isn't Lecter. I was wondering where you've been. I haven't seen you all day. I've been exceptionally busy with work since this morning, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to be able to come and see you earlier since you'll be leaving tomorrow, but I'm terribly sorry for not being able to. Oh, never mind that. If that work of yours isn't done now, we three could always enjoy some sensual quality time together for the remainder of the night. So what was the message from the Capital Secretary? They've acknowledged receipt of His Highness's message. However, they didn't anticipate that you may be able to arrive all the way from Gralsritter in less than half a day. As such, they're currently in a minor panic trying to ensure everything's ready for the ceremony tomorrow. That doesn't come as a surprise. There's nothing like the Arcel when it comes to speed at home. How cruel you both are for so definitely ignoring my proposal. Although it sounds as though the stage will be set in time. Now I need to decide on an outfit that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor to sweeten my arrival. Perhaps a glistening coat and white loincloth will do the trick. That'll make a grand impact, alright. Almost wish I could go along and see it myself. Please don't encourage him. You show remarkable promise for someone so young. What'd you say to coming back on the Arcel with me? I'd welcome your company. Your work here in Liberl is just about as done as it is, isn't it? The offer's certainly tempting, but I'm afraid I have another job to take care of soon. The thought is appreciated, of course. Really? Well, that is a shame. Good luck with that next job of yours. Thank you. Well, if you'll excuse me. So that is secondary elector Arundel. Is it safe to assume he's one of the chancellors? Almost definitely yes. He came through Hacking Gate on foot and took up his new position in the embassy a month ago. And right around the same time we headed to the Liber Ark aboard the Arcel at that. There's no way that could possibly be coincidence. No, it couldn't. The most likely possibility seems to be that he's part of the intelligence division. Are you sure not doing anything regarding him all this time was a good idea? Absolutely. We needed some way to find out what the Chancellor was up to after all. We'll probably get some kind of reaction from the Chancellor through his reports at some point. Probably in about 2 weeks when the Chancellor's tour is finished. You planned that far ahead all along, had you? Well, in that case, I'll be sure that we're ready. I'll be counting on you, love. Oh! So in the matter? Not really. It's just that the moon has come out. And what a beautiful moon it is. It's strange to think that this will be the last time we'll see the moon from here. Truth be told, I'm gonna miss it. Well, it looks like putting a smile on your face a little more often isn't the only thing Liberl's done for you. It's opened up your eyes to life's natural beauty as well. But in all seriousness, we'll just have to do all we can to be able to come back and see it again one day. While we're both still alive. Indeed. Interesting that they are expecting to die from what they're about to enact. At some point. They're not expecting it to go that swimmingly. The next morning. Your Majesty, Your Highness, I humbly thank you both for your generous hospitality during my stay in your fine kingdom. You were even gracious enough to humour my brazen request of escorting me back to Heimdall aboard the Arcel. This debt I owe you will be repaid many times over in the future, rest assured of that. Oh, you needn't think of this as anything we went out of our way for. Escorting an honoured state guest back home is a matter of course, particularly a guest to whom we owe a great debt of gratitude. If you ever have the opportunity, please do come back to Liberl again in the future. I imagine Estelle and Joshua will be back by then too, so we'll all be able to give you a nice warm welcome. I'm already excited for my next visit. Have they left the country yet, by the way? They're busy getting ready to leave over in Roland at the moment, I believe. I plan to see them off when the time comes. I see. Incidentally, while the ruins of Hamel are currently sealed off, I'll do what I can on my end to ensure they are allowed inside. Can I trouble you to pass that along to them? Certainly. Thank you very much, Your Highness. I think nothing of it. It's the least I could do after all they've done for me. I owe you a great deal too, Cassius. If not for your assistance, stopping that armoured division from crossing into Liberl wouldn't have been as simple as it was. I could say the same to you. Still, as I'm sure you're aware, that outcome will have been well within the realm of possibility for the Chancellor. I doubt he was even surprised by the incident. Really? Most likely not. Erebony had anything to gain from using that situation to occupy Liberl. Certainly not to the extent that it would be worth going out of their way to develop inefficient steam tanks. The only reason I could see for him doing what he did was as a show of power to surrounding nations, a statement that even without all power, Erebonia's army could still act. I do suspect that it was his true aim all along. Goodness! So you did notice. The orbital shutdown phenomenon was a complete unknown to the rest of the continent. Perhaps it might never occur again, but there's always a chance it might, whether it's here or somewhere else entirely. The Empire only built a relatively small number of those tanks in all too, certainly not enough to launch a full-scale invasion. By the sounds of it, they were just put together in Reinfeld's factories using parts intended for standard orbital tanks. But as it stands, the know-how to put together tanks like that only exists in the Empire, and in these unpredictable times, no other nation has the time or resources to try and develop extremely inefficient steam-powered weaponry. In a sense, because of what just happened, the Imperial Army's effect as a deterrent is even greater than ever. He's using war as a diplomatic tool, and very effectively at that. None of this had even occurred to me. I have a long way to go before I'm fit to be the ruler of this country. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. He's no ordinary foe to even the most hardened veterans. The Chancellor always seems to be thinking several steps ahead of the rest of the world. It's impressive, no matter what we may think of his actual ideas. I'm quite the reckless fool to be trying to challenge him, if I do say so myself. Don't be silly, Your Highness. How can you say that with a smile on your face? It's utterly beyond me. You should focus on building yourself a strong foothold to begin with. I do hope you'll be careful. No matter what may occur, be sure not to lose sight of exactly where you stand. Of course, Your Majesty. If I were to go and bring shame upon myself now, I'd be wasting all the effort involved in escorting me back home. I'll be sure to take what all you have said to heart. Excuse me, Your Majesty. Hilda? Whatever is the matter? It's not often I see you so flustered. My apologies, Your Majesty. It's just that a guest for you arrived all of a sudden at the castle. Ordinarily, I would not have rushed in while you were meeting with others, but the visitor is so irregular that I thought you should know at once. Irregular? How so? It sounds like it's about time I take my leave then. Actually, the visitor said he would like to greet you as well, and not just Her Majesty. What? Hilda, just who is this visitor? Well, he introduced himself as Chancellor Gilead Osborne of the Erebonian Empire. It's an honor to be granted a personal audience. I'm Gilead Osborne, representative of the Imperial Government. My apologies for the abrupt intrusion. So you are Chancellor Osborne. And it's a pleasure to see you again as well, Your Highness. It's been a year since we last met, has it not? I hope these passing months have seen you well. Yes, a year sounds about right. Still, well, I hope you'll forgive me for asking, just what did prompt someone of your stature to appear at the castle without warning? I'd very much like to hear your side of the story. My apologies, Your Highness. You see, these past few days I've been touring Eastern Erebonia on routine inspections. It's been going very smoothly, more so than I had initially anticipated. I had enough free time in my schedule to pay a cordial visit. Oh my, is that so? Naturally, I would have preferred to come in while the crisis was still unfolding like you yourself did, Your Highness. Unfortunately, the confusion in Southern Erebonia was simply too pressing a matter, and I had no choice but to deal with that first. This was the first chance that presented itself to come here and meet directly with Her Majesty, so I acted with the utmost expediency. I hope you'll forgive my lack of proper decorum in failing to give advance notice of my arrival. That does make sense, at least. Regardless, please don't concern yourself with me. No doubt you wish to offer your greetings to Her Majesty. My thanks, Your Highness. Well then, allow me to extend my most heartfelt greetings to both of you, Queen Alicia and Princess Claudia. It's abundantly clear that the crisis that unfolded here has been quite the ordeal for yourselves and for your nation's people. Yet my deepest sympathies for the hardships you have endured, as well as my commendation for bringing the situation under control. I thank you for your kind words, Your Excellency. If anything, we should be apologizing to you for the fact that the southern side of your nation was caught up in what should have been our problem. We should be the ones going to you rather than having you trouble yourself to come all the way to Liberl. I beg you to accept our apologies together with my deepest thanks for coming here today. I would never ask for apologies. I've heard what happened was the work of a shadowy organization, steaming up trouble, or stirring up trouble within your borders. Steaming up was the trouble outside of our borders. While I meant well by sending a military force to aid you, I wouldn't have done something so careless had I known the truth of the matter. My actions were rash, foolish even, and I was rightfully reprimanded by His Imperial Majesty for them. Oh my. Fortunately, His Highness the Prince was able to act with all due haste to put right my misstep before even greater harm was done. I owe you a great debt of gratitude for that, Your Highness. And congratulations besides for your part in bringing an end to the crisis. Oh, I did nothing out of the ordinary. Had a lot of help from Her Majesty, Her Highness, and Brigadier General Bright here too. Bright, you say? It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Excellency. I am Cassius Bright, a Brigadier General in the Liberlian Royal Army. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. Your name is rather well known even in the Empire. Well, as much as yours is known here in Liberl, I would imagine. It's an honor to be able to speak with you in person. It's certainly a surprise to be able to, though. Coming here on a whim can't have been easy for a man as busy as yourself. It sounds as though I may have underestimated just how capable you truly are. Not at all. I was greatly impressed to see the Royal Army's effectiveness in dealing with the tumult here. Your forces have proven powerful yet flexible, capable of dealing with emergencies ably and decisively. I might go so far as to say it embodies an ideal that the Imperial Army with its swollen ranks could never hope to realize. You flatter us, Your Excellency. For your part, I hear you are responsible for the establishment of the Imperial Army's famed intelligence division. Our army is in desperate need of a new one of its own, so I find myself quite envious. It almost sounds as though the two of us each want more the other has. So it does. May I ask, Your Excellency, what will you be doing now? For my part, I'm intending to leave Liberl today, so I'm afraid I won't be around much longer. Yes, so I've been told. I believe you're intending to make your grand arrival in Heimdall aboard the famous Arcel. I'm impressed you're already aware. I almost wish I could return to Erebonia on board it alongside you. But alas, I'm afraid I have other business demanding my attention after I'm finished here. I'll be leaving Liberl separately this afternoon. That is a shame. I would very much have liked to invite you to this evening's banquet. Please, you need not go to such trouble on my account. I feel as though I put you out enough showing up unannounced as I did, to say nothing of dining with such esteemed company. Still, I do have some time before the airship I'll be leaving on is due to depart. That being the case, why not ask for a little of your time, Your Highness? I have a few things I'd like to discuss with you personally. Very well. I have some matters I would actually like to discuss personally with you as well. What a fortuitous coincidence. Allow me to have a room arranged for the two of you to have your discussion then. Hilda, if you would. Certainly, Your Majesty. Oh, the politics. Fitting music for this meeting, maybe? Wander outside Lecter Inn. Nope, Lecter's not there. Did Chloe not recognize him? Ah. It's obvious that Her Majesty is quite the tea fancier, if this blend is anything to go by. The fragrance, the temperature, the taste. I'd be hard-pressed to find fault with any of it. I've always been more of a coffee man myself, but I have no doubt that I'd be content with a cup of this at my desk each morning. All the government liking coffee there. As much as I agree with you, I don't believe we're here to talk about beverages. So shall we get right to the point? What did you want to discuss with me? I see your sojourn in Liberl has proven most fruitful. Pardon? When we last spoke, you struck me as a bright, flexible young man. And no doubt you still are, but now I see in you a resilient inner strength grinding those aspects, or girding those aspects, grinding them down. I'm sure His Majesty were most delighted with your personal development. Meanwhile, I see you're the same fearless man I've always known you to be. More so even, that crushing aura about you seems to have only grown with time. It's as if you feed on the resentment of those who live in the territories you annex. Such harsh words, Your Highness. Personally, I prefer the term political unification. Annex can carry such negative connotations, you know. Since the end of the 100 Days' War, our army hasn't committed a single act of aggression. All of our unifications have been entirely peaceful. Oh, you're quite right about that. On the surface. Oh. It's amazing how similar the annexation process is every single time it happens. It starts with a small nation or independent state with an array of problems beyond repair. Those problems start to worsen, after which Jaegers and other dangerous elements enter, plunging public order to an all-time low. Desperate for a solution, the local government requests the help of the Imperial Army. Before they know it, they're part of the Empire. Well, it's not as though I can deny what you're saying. Each instance does share certain commonalities, as well as to be expected, an inevitable consequence of the age of unchecked growth and progress in which we live. The Imperial Army is simply acting in the Empire's best interests, helping to stabilize our neighbors for the good of the Empire. And it's understandable that they would. I do find myself rather curious why Intelligence Division members are going to such nations with such peculiar frequency. Well before the problems I described worsened, no less. I won't press as to where you came by such information, as curious as I am. But I will say this, at its most basic level, these actions are about risk management. It's because we've been acting to minimize such risk beforehand that the army has been able to successfully quell each problem in turn. With a small price of earning the disdain of the people in those nations and an increased risk of terrorism in exchange. To tell you the truth, I'm rather astounded that you had the courage to come to here to Liberl all on your own to begin with. After all, you've earned yourself the biggest target for terrorists in all of Erebonia. Your concern is touching, Your Highness. I would ask that you not trouble yourself with my safety. I employ some very skilled subordinates tasked primarily with eliminating the risk of terrorist attacks against me. Really now? That lecturer is one of those, I assume. A rather peculiar fellow, isn't he? But a very useful one all the same. Working out the scheduling for this trip and taking all the necessary precautions to ward off terrorist threats with both his doing. And thanks to his commendable efforts, I can depart for Crosbell free from worries as soon as I finish my business here. Crosbell? Are you surprised? I'll be participating in a top-secret discussion with a representative of the Crosbell government. Recently, a large amount of funding has been flowing into the country through Republican channels, putting our allies on the defensive. I'd always meant to visit at some point, and this seemed the perfect opportunity. Are you out of your mind? Crossbell are full of enemies and different factions at each other's throats. I hear it's now even a hotbed for terrorists and criminal organizations because of its position as a buffer state. Does that really sound like a place the Erebonian Chancellor should be going even on an unofficial visit? I'm surprised to hear you advocating caution in the face of potential danger, Your Highness. After all, it was you who flew onto an ancient city at great risk to your own safety and returned unharmed after surveying it. Compared to such rousing risk-taking, my visit to Crossbell will be child's play. As I'm sure you're aware, you're regarded as something of a hero back in Erebonia now. To see a hero make a grand return befitting his newly minted legend, and aboard the famous Arcel no less. Naturally, our hero has also taken the time to ensure that every well-known newspaper and magazine are aware of his homecoming too. I have no doubts that your triumphant arrival will be every bit as glorious as it had been played out in your imaginings, Your Highness. Do be sure to capitalize on this chance as best you can to build yourself a firm foothold. I expect great things from you after all. Sklee! Hey, buddy! You haven't changed a bit, huh? Sklee! Really, sounds like a ton's happened, huh? But it's nice to see you and your master are doing alright. Sklee! Lecter? Well, good day to you, Your Highness. I pray I'm not causing any trouble by taking a tour of the castle like this. The view from this terrace certainly is beautiful, isn't it? What happened to you, Lecter? How did you end up working for Chancellor Osborne? Oh, sorry. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. Are you perchance mistaking me for someone else? Your name is Lecter Arundel. You were the student council president at Genis Royal Academy, which you attended before leaving suddenly 2 years ago. So no, I'm not mistaking you for someone else. But that's where you're wrong, because my name is actually Terrarundle. Yeah, sure. I certainly see how our names could become mixed up. However, they are scarily close. Still, now you know. Please just call me Lek. Don't try and joke around me, Lecter. Do you have any idea how worried all of us were when you just disappeared without a word? You submitted your notice to leave the academy and then were never seen again. Even the otherwise calm Leo let out a cry of anger when he found out, and all Lucy could do was give a sad smile and say, "This is just like him," the whole time with tears in her eyes. Jill and Hans were heartbroken, and so was I. Yet after all that, after all this time, you finally show yourself, knowing full well that I'm here, and this is how you act by pretending you're someone else. Lecter. Sorry, no need for the scary glare. You're still taking things way too seriously. Looks like it'll take more than stepping up as Crown Princess to change that part of you. Oh. But you know, seeing you makes me feel kind of relieved. I always figured if someone like you became Crown Princess, you'll have virtually no freedom to do anything other than work. But from all that's reached my ears, it sounds like you're actually doing all right for yourself. And you even made some great new friends after I left the academy, didn't you? Nice! I sure did. Nonetheless, it's thanks to you that I was able to change it all. You were the one who gave me the first push in the right direction. I never got the chance to thank you properly after you left. But all this time, I've always been grateful to you. Oh, consider me honoured. Do I get a kiss in return? You do not. I may feel respect towards you, but nothing romantic. Oh, that's a bummer. There was me, all taken in by how pretty you've become, wondering if this could be the start of something downright magical. And what happens instead? My dreams of romance and sweet smooches are crushed to nothing, before they can even begin. I know you don't mean a word of that, you know. You're looking very sharp yourself, though. It's surprising to see. Every time I've seen you before today, it was in that heavily frayed uniform worn in the most sloppy way imaginable. I think you'll find I was merely making a fashion statement. It wasn't laziness or slobbishness. Every part of it was carefully calculated and considered to have maximum effects. The scary thing is, I actually believe you. You always seemed as if you cared for nothing but having fun and causing trouble. Yet when it came down to it, you were wise beyond your years. And I've finally seen part of the reason behind that today. I'll ask you again, Lecter. How did you end up working for Chancellor Osborne like this? Just what happened to you between you submitting your notice to leave the academy and now? Something we're not going to find out, eh? Or we're switching between the two scenes. Do you now? I have to admit, I never imagined that would be the case. On the contrary, I was expecting you to tell me to back off. Oh, alias forbid. What reason would I have to suggest such a thing? After all, at the end of the day, our positions are functionally the same. I'm not sure I understand. Do you not think so? Personally, I find it difficult to believe that you would not harbour some hatred toward Ereboni as it is today. A grand empire clinging to the glories of a bygone era, ruled by the nobility and shackled by meaningless conventions. Am I wrong? People call me the Blood and Iron Chancellor as though I hold the whole of Erebania? Yeah, sure. As though I hold the hell. It's getting late. People call me the Blood and Iron Chancellor as though I hold the whole of Ereboni in the palm of my hand. Got it. But in reality, my position is far more tenuous. I have supporters and allies in the capital, certainly, but outside its walls, the nobility holds far more sway than any of them. And while it is true I hold a great amount of power in the form of the Imperial Army, even then I only truly command about 70% of it. The remainder is loyal to the nobility, who also maintain their own private armies. With those factored in, my advantage shrinks substantially. You see, I'm still very much in the midst of a battle to truly exert control. Which is why you're building railways all over the country to expand your area of influence. And you've been annexing new territory to that same end. As I've long thought, you clearly understand me better than anyone else. That's why I'll say this once again. Work with me, Your Highness. With your support, our nation will be able to bring about real reform faster than ever. A noble faction, bloated with its centuries of decadence, can be stopped before they even have the chance to unify against us. Surely that's what you desire more than anything. Let me just ask a simple question, Chancellor. What connection do you have with Ouroboros? I'm afraid I'm not quite sure what you're asking. I will say this, however. I'm a firm believer in using every resource at my disposal in the name of achieving reform. That's the way I believe in handling politics. I see. Well, it certainly does seem as though we would see eye to eye in many ways. And that's all the more reason why I'm afraid I must refuse your offer. Is that so? As I find it difficult to like the rotten noble faction that exists in the Empire. Or perhaps you're right that hate is the more appropriate word. My feelings of fear toward your methods are far greater than my feelings of hatred towards the nobles. What you seem to be doing is trying to compel Erebonians with a delusive utopia, to whip them into an enthusiastic frenzy. No doubt by successfully convincing the people the old guard will fall into the metaphorical firestorm created, and yet by then the gears will have already begun turning. There will be no satisfying a roused populace with a thirst for revolution. The storm will just keep growing larger and more ravenous, engulfing anything and everything in its wake. You know this, don't you, Chancellor? But of course! After all, that's what I intend to happen. It's the first stage of my reforms. I'd be more than happy to share further details with you if you were to decide to work with me, Your Highness. In the meantime, I wish you well in strengthening your foothold back in the Empire. Of course, if that's your intention, you'll find it a necessity to work with those nobles you so despise. You truly do see through everything, don't you? Well, that sounds like the noon bell. The airship should be arriving shortly. Which means it's time for me to take my leave, I'm afraid. I look forward to seeing you again in the capital in 2 weeks' time. I take it the discussion is over then. What's wrong? You look awfully tired. Oh, nothing. I'm just feeling awed and new at what a monster I decided to pick a fight with. Oopsie, I think it's probably about time for the airship to arrive. I'm gonna have to stop you there and get going. What? See you, Sieg. Next time I see you, I'll bring you some Erebonian salami as a souvenir, okay? Oh, I want some Erebonian salami. Sklee! Wait, are you planning to just disappear without telling me anything a second time? Oh, got an important question for you. Did you fall in love with someone while I was away? Hit a nail on the head, huh? Oh, that's so cute. First love, right? How's that feel? Heart all aflutter 1 minute, end of the world the next? Don't you dare start teasing me. But you're right, though. I did. You rejected me in this very spot not long ago. Wait, you're joking, right? That's a coincidence I didn't see coming. Huh? I'm not so sure about that. It feels like you know everything sometimes. Huh. I'm not some kind of all-knowing, all-seeing divinity. That's what makes the world so interesting to me. Oh! I'm happy for you, Chloe. Knowing the pain of lost love is what makes a girl blossom, in my humble opinion. Do you feel like the whole experience let you get a step closer to the person you want to be? Well, what about you? Do you feel you're getting closer to becoming the person you want to be? By being at the chance to decide? I don't know how to do that when I don't have a person I want to be with to begin with, or a person I want to be to begin with. I'm just sticking with him because it feels like it'd be fun. That's all. I've been doing it since before I joined the academy, in fact. You have? Our prince is proving surprisingly capable, but he still isn't a match for the Chancellor. Let him watch his back, alright? So that he doesn't get swallowed up by that monster after he gets tired of dancing. Goodbye, Lecter. Thank you all for waiting. The Calabria International Airliner bound for the Principality of Emeferia will be departing momentarily. Please mind your footing when boarding. So that was the Blood 9 Chancellor. I can't believe he actually went out of his way to use a civilian airship when he probably has a private one of his own. I heard rumours about how out of the ordinary he is, but he lives up to all of them. He keeps me on my toes, to put it playfully enough. And aside, thanks for coming all this way to see me off, Sharon. I was lucky I just happened to have business here at the right time. It feels like this is going to be the last chance we get to see one another for a while after all. Rather unfortunate as my dream is, and always was, to live away my days in a lap of luxury, surrounded by women as beautiful as you. Well, good luck with that. Change the subject though, who was the young man at the Chancellor's side? He didn't strike me as your ordinary guy. Oh, you could tell. But of course, I'd say I'm used to running into people who are out of the ordinary at this point. We've sure fallen enough of them. His name's Lecter Arundel. He's a secretary who was sent here by the Imperial Government. Apparently he was the one who planned out all the details of the Chancellor's visit to Liberl. I can't pretend to know much regarding his background, but he's exceptionally skilled at what he does. Actually, I know a little. What? Oh, is that true? Yes. Claudia explained that Lecter once attended the same academy as her and had served as its student council president. She also mentioned about his sudden disappearance at the academy festival 2 years ago. Unbelievable. Then, someone connected to the Chancellor had visited Liberl first. And he's very likely to have had his own veritable information network established here long before I even came up with the idea. I think it's safe for us to assume that's the case, which also means that it's safe to assume he knows every detail about all that's happened here since. From the coup d'etat to the crisis regarding the Olio, all of it. This man gets more unbelievable by the minute. He actually gave me a message to pass on to you earlier. Watch your back so you don't get swallowed up by that monster when you get tired of dancing. He sure knows how to sting where it hurts, doesn't he? I feel like I can see the whole new world of pleasure opening up before my eyes. He should know better. Getting outdone by every turn like this is really not my style. What do you mean? Captain Schwartz, I have a little favour I'd like to ask for when we're in the air. Got the Erebonians always putting that thing up front. I'm rather impressed with how Prince Olivert has come along. No matter how he chooses to act from here on, he will have his uses to be certain. You would say that, given that you think of everyone as your pawns. As me, the prince, that society. Indeed, and I am much the same. We are but pawns on the vast game board that is the Empire, where a thrill like no other will take place. But it's because you too wish to see how that game plays out that you've chosen to stand with me, is it not? Well, hey, what can I say? Don't forget that this piece right here might not be loyal forever. And such a betrayal would be perfectly fine by me. Or did you honestly think I'd never considered the possibility it may happen? Just thought I'd come out and say it. How are the other Ironbloods doing, by the way? They're all doing very well with the sound of it. At the rate things are going, there's a chance all of the prince's efforts will be for naught. Perhaps I ought to hold back on him a little. You shouldn't pull any punches, do you? You know something? I wouldn't write him off so easily if I were in your shoes. What? What, is he gonna go, nah, as he goes past? What? These look like rose petals. If you look out the window to the right hand side of the airship, you will be able to see the famous high-speed cruiser, the Arcel. We've been informed that it's on its way to the Imperial capital with Prince Olivert of the Erebonian Empire on board. But he has also given us a message to relay to all of the passengers on board today. I give thanks to Elios for the good fortune to have been able to meet you today. May your journey be filled with beautiful roses and her blessings. And of course, may your journey to your homes be a safe and pleasant one. That marks the end of his message. And those roses that travel at the speed of the Arcel to even land on the other airship, impossibility. But it looks cool. I never thought there was a bigger dumbass in this world than me, and yet here we are. Very well, debaucherous prince. I look forward to seeing what you can do. Show me how long you can hold out against me. And so the side story, Return to the Empire, has come to an end. And so our session comes to an end as we obtain a Divine Eye and another 7K mirror. Another door is completed. What is a Divine Eye before we move along? I know the graphics are melting, by the way, at this point. They're definitely melting at this point. Divine Eye. Scent, Eagle Eye, Information, Septium Vein, and Fortune all in one. Also giving Earth, Water, Fire, and Wind the amount that you need for Zodiac. The perfect gem. The perfect gem is now obtained for any spellcaster. It is there. Beautiful. And with yet more lore dropped for more Trails in the future, we play more Trails in the Sky the Third the next time, as it looks like we're reaching the end of Chapter 5. Unless any more doors stand in our way. What is our total looking at the moment, by the way? Moon doors, we need one more. Star doors, we are halfway done. And sun doors, we have done 4. But we know that the arena one has a little bit more to it. So we're getting through the game. We're over halfway there. We're not living on a prayer to Adios anymore. We'll see you next time for more Trails in the Sky the Third. Bye-bye.